Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, how was your Thanksgiving? Was it good?
Oh, not too bad, actually. Well, I had to work, but we had, like, Fakesgiving the day after, so that was okay.
There you go.
My family wasn't too annoying. Me and my wife drank a bottle of wine before they showed up, just to make it easier, which is not like us at all, but it was kind of fun.
Time to bust out the wine. Here come the relatives.
Pretty much. That was our thinking at the time. All right, I'm gonna try to add everybody to this call here. Where's that? Add people.
Been working on the character skills.
Let's see. There's Tim. Add Tim. Yeah, I'm watching my son today, so I'll have to be muting my microphone from different times. If I'm in like a middle of a GM description and it just cuts out, that's what I did. So I hit the old mute button. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's see here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Loudly and clearly.
Oh.
Very good.
So, how's everybody doing?
Ruby, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Just I was just telling them that I'm watching my son, so hopefully he goes to bed. I don't know, maybe I'll try to put him down a little bit early for a nap, but sometimes he doesn't like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Last time you guys had finished up, you had crawled through that tunnel. I wasn't able to get a hold of Zig. I think he's probably still sleeping. If he's he's sometimes he's online on Skype, but I think it's on like his cell phone. I don't think it's his actual, like when he's on his computer. So he's probably fast asleep. So.
Yes, it's on mobile device.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get a hold of him, so I don't know if he'll be coming today or not. But you guys are all here, so that's cool. But yeah, you guys were in that tunnel. There were soldiers behind you, soldiers ahead of you. Luther ripped his finger through the wallpaper, and saw that they had tried to light the house on fire, but you guys all came out of the tunnel and put out the fire, and we ended up with you guys in like a second house from that secret church where you guys were hanging out. Sir Rayhan is still possessed or under a spell or whatever the case may be with him, where he yells out every once in a while. Although this time he didn't puke out a bunch of spiders, so that was good.
His condition is improving, really.
Well, Luther had stuffed a bunch of rags down his throat, so maybe that stopped him from coming out.
Maybe that kept the spiders at bay. But maybe he's aspirating on spiders. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is there any questions you guys have or anything? Or
is he still floating?
Right now, let's see here. He has sunk to the ground, so he's dead weight at this point.
That would have been nice.
In some ways, that's less convenient.
This is when
would have been
Luther...
nice if he's still floating.
You're like possession light.
You could just pull him along on a rope.
Let's see here. So is one thing that starts to happen is Luther feels something strange going on with his the arm, the one that's all bandaged up from the old man, and as well the old man and his wife are with you guys at this point. And there was the young lady and young man too that were with you. Didn't get their names, but you're all sort of hunched down in this house. But Luther feels his, I don't know, it's like a tightening feeling over his hand underneath the bandages. Almost a sense of pulling and I don't know, like his skin's being drawn too tightly over his hand, something like that.
I will begin to unbandage my arm to see what's going on as I clench it closely to myself.
When you take off some of the bandages, you actually see a bit of your reflection It seems like there are various angled sections of mirror that have grown over your hand, from your elbow down to the fingertips. It's like many faceted, lots of different angles. If you like move your arm, you'll sort of reflect a bunch of different lights on your face.
I'll gaze into it and I'll ask out loud, "What is this?"
Can't say I know.
Don't look at me. It's your arm. Can you feel them?
It feels all right. It's just so strange.
After you asked the question, you felt a sharp pain in your foot, and you actually take 2 points of damage. It seems like someone like tramped on your toe or something.
That renders me unconscious at 0.
So Luther just crumples over in a pile.
Oh, well, that was sudden. Do we run from him or try to help him? Because there's a bad history with...
You see that his arm, as he's crumpled there, he was unwrapping it, and it looks like the mirror is now part of his, like, wherever his skin was missing, fragments of mirror have replaced it.
This is not a good sign.
I'm taking it as a bad omen too, sir.
I run over to him and try to help him up at least. See if I can revive him or do something for him.
Tavis is going to also just sort of cradle Luther's arm in his hands and just sort of run his fingers along these mirror bits, trying to figure out whether they have that mercurial look to them.
It doesn't seem as mercury-like as the mirror did, but it doesn't quite seem like it's like a normal mirror. It seems like it's probably from that incident where he put the hammer and his fist through. And as you're investigating the body, you see that the hammer also seems to have that same quality to it. The one that he plunged through the mirror. It's coated in this mirror-like exterior.
Mm. Well, I think that he's going to probably, in his examinations, bleed a bit on Luther and see if he can wake him up.
Okay, so you smear some blood on Luther?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figure he's probably lost enough at this point through that arm. May as well replenish.
So how much blood do you give him?
I don't know.
How many hit points worth of blood? That's what I'm saying.
5.
Okay, you said 5, I think?
Yep.
Okay, so Luther gets 5, so I think he's at 5 now.
All right.
So you come to, and you get some blood on you.
What happened to me?
And Tavis is just curiously poking at your arm.
What are you doing? Stop that!
Well, look at it. It's ridiculous.
You come to, and your head is... you come to, Sergei has his hand on either side of your head, and he's looking at you very closely.
What happened to me, Sergei? What happened?
You touched your arm, and you screamed and fell over.
Oh, dear. Oh, my. Well, now. That's unpleasant. I felt a sharp pain in my foot, too, when that happened. Ooh.
I think I was muted. Did you hear a voice? Did Luther hear a voice when that happened?
A little bit. It didn't go all the way through. I didn't hear the details.
Basically, it said that I think you asked, like, what is this or what's going on. It said that I am you, I've replaced part of your skin. And that was the answer that you got to your question. And then the pain happened.
Whatever this is, this mirror is now a part of me.
Yeah, it looks like that, Luther. Should we try and pick it out?
No. It looks a lot better than it normally was.
Just try not to address questions to your arm.
But that might prove useful in certain situations, wouldn't you think?
Well,
if you're trying to get to sleep, sure.
If you absolutely have to, but do not make practice of it.
Oh no, trust me, I will not abuse this too much. It is a painful price to pay. But, well, at least we're never far from a mirror at this point, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
Luther will begin to rub his eyes, and as he looks, he'll see the blood, and he goes, "Oh, how did I get this blood upon me? Oh."
Davis is just gonna wander off quietly.
Oh, this is most unfortunate. Well, Luther will then pick himself up, brush himself off, and dress himself as normal.
I go over to Rayhan and look at him closely.
His eyes are open, probably about a centimeter, and you just see the whites of his eyes. He's still breathing raggedly, but otherwise he's unconscious.
I carefully pull the cloth out of his mouth.
It doesn't have any, there's no blood or spiders on it.
Okay. So we're in that room of the different house. Do we want to stay here? Or I don't think that we should stay here. Once they see that house is not on fire, they will come back inside.
And try and fix that, most likely.
Yes, indeed they will. Perhaps it would be best if we might enable the fire once again, before we leave, of course. That way we can confirm their own expectations, and they won't be prone to go inside and investigate.
The question is
That's
whether
a
they're
good
waiting
idea.
outside watching it burn.
Well, that's one way to find out. Look out the window. You are sneaky, aren't you, Tevas? You go sneak over there and look out the window.
Right. He'll just lower his profile and see if he can work his way there. Get a good vantage point, but not provide one.
Okay, so you probably just peek through one of the curtains in the windows, and you only see one of those soldiers who looks like he's standing on the corner, and he is looking at the house. It seems like all the rest of the soldiers have gone.
Looks like we only have one guard to worry about, Sergey.
Well, perhaps we should do as Luther suggests. Set house on fire. Again. Once we find other way out first, though.
Seems like a plan.
It seems Rayhan is not floating in the air anymore. That is inconvenient. I will have to carry him.
The old man sees that Tavis goes over to the window, and he looks around. It seems that our place has been discovered somehow. I can only suspect Jarvis and Samantha. I don't know how else they would have been able to tell that we were there.
It was my thought, too. But why would they bring us here? To you, and then turn everyone in Perhaps to have everyone in the same place at the same time.
Perhaps that re-education that Jarvis went through was more thorough than I expected. Perhaps he is truly in their debt.
Was she re-educated?
I believe she was as well. I've seen some of the scars on her skin.
Mm.
'Tis a shame. He struck me as such a righteous man.
Unless...
There is no righteous man.
You'll see the old man start just moving over to Rayhan and looking over him closely. He puts both of his hands on the sides of Rayhan's face, and he puts his thumbs to his eyelids and tries to open them up, and he sees that there are no pupils there; they're just all white. And he'll just sort of like throw Rayhan's head down to the ground and just start backing away from it. I think they can see through his eyes. Maybe. I don't know. Who did this to him?
Well, it happened inside of that place. Once we were attacked by a creature, we had arms growing from us, and ever since then we have been susceptible to certain forms of magic.
Must have been... I believe he must be the mother then. She must have done this to him. Perhaps she is looking through his eyes. Perhaps it would be best to leave him here and let the flames cleanse him.
Oh no, certainly not! We do not abandon our comrades. Rayhan is our friend, and he is in need.
Maybe you should pluck his eyes out then.
No, how about we do this instead? And Luther will take his bandages that were on his arm and instead just wrap him around his eyes instead. See? Now he cannot see, and we don't have to leave him to burn.
Suit yourself. I think I would have plucked out his eyes.
Oh, I don't think Rayhan would have appreciated that much. Not unless we try to uplift this strange black magic that has consumed him. And then Luther will lean in close to his ear and he'll whisper, "Fight it! Fight it, my friend Rayhan! You can do it!"
Tim checks online and Zig isn't there, so he's still sleeping.
Well, I think we will need to leave here immediately. Let us set place on fire and find other way out.
Well, there's the front door and the side door over there by the porch. I guess that side door, at least the guard wouldn't see us leave.
Then that would be appropriate place to leave from, then.
Do you know of any buildings nearby we might take hiding in? Anything remotely secure for us?
Yeah, he goes to that side of the building and looks out. Nothing close by, sadly. Seems like there's a good many people out there, though. Maybe we can blend in with the crowd.
Yes, because we look like local inhabitants, don't we? But we will have to try.
He looks at himself and nods, and then he looks at you guys, and then he sort of smirks. Well, I think me and mine will have to leave.
Very good.
You all can decide what you're going to do. And he nods to his wife, and his wife comes after him, and the young couple does as well. They all seem to just sort of follow his lead, no matter what he says or where he goes. And they exit. They just sort of exit out that side door with the porch, and sort of blend in with the crowd. So you'll see them leave.
I do not trust him.
That's likely wise. I wouldn't trust anyone around here at this point.
But I really do not trust him.
Oh, come now.
Oh, well,
He is
that's
such
different.
a kind man. He helped us out after all. Mended our wounds and tended to us dearly. Yes, I think he's a righteous fellow as well. Luther will say with a pretty big smile on his face.
Well, I go over to where the pile of rags were burning, and I pull out my tinderbox and start lighting another fire.
Okay, it doesn't take too long, but you'll eventually get it lit.
Okay.
I will help pick Rayhan's body up.
It seems a little bit lighter than the last time you guys have carried him. Mainly because he hasn't been eating in a while.
He vomited out all his spiders already.
The spiders must have ate all of his extra calories.
Yeah. The spider diet. Okay. Well, once the fire is going, I walk over to that side door and just look outside carefully.
You do see that there's a lot of people moving. They look like they're going in unison to some location.
They're all going in mass someplace. Like a big herd of cattle.
The question is, do we follow the herd or do we go our own way?
The problem is we have Rayhan slung over his shoulder. It would look mighty odd if we're walking in crowd with body.
Oh, come now. We'll just say that he's drunk.
They might not take very kindly to drinking in this town.
Well, we'll say someone forced him to drink then. And we're trying to find the men who did this to him.
That might draw attention to us. Perhaps we should find some place to stash him.
But we'll also need to tie him down as well. We wouldn't want him floating out of this stashed place.
Well, that is a good idea. Tie him down, keep his eyes bound. We can gag his mouth again. We might need to anchor him to the ground because he might start floating around again. Let's find rocks. We can put rocks on him, tie him up, put him underneath a bed someplace, and leave him there. Then we go see what is happening, and then we come back for him.
And now all we need to do is find a bed.
Well, let's get out of this place because it is going to be burning down pretty soon. And I just walk over to the door.
You start to hear screams off in the distance, and then the cheers of people.
Oh, it sounds like town execution.
Well, that could be a wonderful distraction.
Excellent distraction. Let us leave.
Does it look like they've already massed in the distance and have passed? Or are there still people milling about on this side of town?
Looks like there's still people, the people that are coming late to the show, but yeah, it started already.
Is it thin enough that it seems like we can slip by? The crowd, that is.
Yeah, you think you can move around them. It's not like they're impassable. It's just, there's a general flow that's going from right to left. That's your exit.
Okay.
And you guys know from your wanderings before that you're close to the main exit of the town. You're along the area that is by the walled section, like the outside wall of the town.
Is it heavily guarded, the exit?
The last time you guys were there, you did see several guards. Probably about 4.
Well, perhaps we could find the alleyway, like where we found those two people, Jarvis and Strange Lady. There was piles of rags there that perhaps we can hide Rayhan underneath of there.
We'll just need to make sure that that alleyway is deserted. We wouldn't want no one discovering him in his current state.
Yes, very true. Let's hurry. The smoke in this place is starting to concern me. Let's just get out of here.
All right. After you all.
Tavis, you are a sneaky one. Would you like to proceed first?
I'll see what I can see. I've got a 2 for stealth, so.
Okay. You sneak out onto the porch, and you see the people that are moving. Often you don't really see the torture scene that's happening, but it looks like perhaps it's in like this sort of round sections of building. There's like an open area, and you see a good number of people there. Off to like the left a little bit, I guess.
Is it very much like what I saw in Pembrooktonshire, or a different scene altogether?
No, it's not really like a town center. I mean, where you guys were before with that fountain, you think might have been more akin to that. This just seems like it's, I don't know, almost like a block of buildings and houses, and in the center of it, there's just an open area that you can get to via passageways between the buildings and alleys and things like that. But there's something going on there. It's hard to see, though, from this distance.
Torture quarter. Great. So do we want to find that alley, then?
Or someplace similar. Do you
If you
see
go
any other?
If you go right, that'll take you back to the main entrance to the town. If you go left and then right, that'll take you towards that torture area. If you go just straight left, it'll sort of walk along the wall of the town. If that makes sense.
Actually, the wall could be an interesting place to skirt around. What kind of wall is it?
Looks like it's about 15 foot tall, made out of rough timbers, and just held together in places with large piles of rocks and like mud and straw.
Okay. I think Tavis is going to start creeping forwards along its perimeter, deferring back to the others to occasionally to see what they make of it.
Probably about every 50 yards on the wall, you'll see a soldier that seems like they're mainly staring outwards. They don't seem to care really what's going on inside the city, inside the town.
Okay. And just one?
Yeah, it's about one every 50 yards, you think.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like there's little sort of like watchtower shacks set up on top of the wall. Keep the rain and snow off them, things like that.
Do you know much of the surrounding area, Sergei?
This is first time I have been here. Let's just find some place to stash Rayhan first, and then we can go investigate.
Seems sensible. Any piles of rags around?
There are some refuse piles along the edge of the wall here. It seems like this is where people throw things.
Okay.
That is good enough place.
For Rayhan, surely.
We won't leave him here for too long. We'll come back and hopefully he will have woken up.
Well, at least the rags will keep him warm.
Very true.
And the stench will stir his senses.
Equally true.
That might be a good thing. It might wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
I just walk over to an area where there's some rags and start moving them aside. Put them here.
Luther will then gently put Rayhan down.
I'll take out that rope that I had tied to his ankle and tie up his hands and his feet and just bind him up completely. Then I'll just stuff that rag back in his mouth.
Tavis kicks each of the nearby piles to see if there are any treacherous peasants lying in wait in them.
Some mice and rats scurry out from them, but nothing else.
That's reassuring.
Once I have him tied up, I just look for some rocks or anything heavy that I can stack on top of him. Then I just stack stuff on top of him, and then I just cover him up in rags.
Yeah, he's all piled up under a nice thick protective layer of garbage.
That looks cozy.
As you guys are finishing putting the final pieces of trash on top of Rayhan, you see a group of 6 men that are coming from the other way. They don't really seem to notice you, but they duck into a building. They are wearing lots of black leather armor. They have concealed weapons that, if you weren't people that use weapons fairly often, you probably wouldn't have noticed. But you'll just see a bulge here or, a long piece of robe over a certain section.
These could be our kind of people.
Then let us make contact with them, then. Luther will then spruce himself up and kind of adjust his armor in a just sort of way. Even though there's like blood and stuff on it, he's just polishing himself up.
You'll see they go in through this door, and after they go through it, they close it, and then this false wall slides from the right to the left, sort of concealing the fact that there's a door there.
Did we happen to notice if they pushed anything, if they moved any levers or anything to cause the wall to slide?
If they did anything, it looks like it was probably inside the building.
Oh. Well, Sergei will give his shield back to Luther, and then he'll pull out his bow and he'll hide it underneath of his cloak. Let us go investigate.
Tavis is going to sling his crossbow over his back in the least conspicuous way he can, and just creep over to this facade that shifted in place of where the opening was and see if he can figure out how it works.
Okay, why don't you just give me like a tinkering roll, I guess?
Okay. 1. So, definitely.
Alright, yeah, it seems like, it's if you pull this little rope here, it'll just slide right back. It's not very complex, but you're a little impressed with how well it concealed the door. If you didn't know.
Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm here. He just keeps playing this little musical instrument toy. It's driving me crazy.
Okay. Sorry.
He knows how to turn it on and off, too. I keep turning it off, and he keeps turning it right back on. So yeah, you're able to figure out how it works. That's just a rope that pulls it across. And it does a very good job of concealing it. If you didn't know it was there, it would be hard to tell. But yeah, you don't have any problem disabling it or figuring out how it works, and you slide it across, and there's a door.
Shall we?
Proceed.
If Rayhan were here, he'd check for traps, but really, who traps a hidden door?
That they themselves went into, I think that would be very strange.
Tavis just tries to crack it open.
Okay, you'll open the door. It's not locked. Inside, you see it's a pretty small room, pretty small building. There's just a rug on the floor. There's 2 paintings of old women that are on the walls. There's no windows. And that's it. And they're not inside.
That we can see. Tavis, I guess. And there are no other floors that we can see? Were there stairs, or is it a single floor home from the looks of it?
Looks like it's a single floor. There's no doors, no windows. You're not really sure how they got out of here.
Okay. Tavis is going to check behind the picture frames.
Oh.
To see if there's any, hidden quirks to them.
Yeah, you check behind. All that you see is just some discolored, brighter colored wall. It looks like the sun has bleached the paint in the other sections.
Well, this is bizarre.
There's nothing there. It's just the carpet on the floor.
Do we recognize the women?
You don't. They seem like they're prominent and distinguished, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Does the carpet look like it's been lifted recently?
It's actually hard to tell. It looks like they sweep the floor,
Okay.
so you don't see any dust or anything. But it's flat on the floor.
I think that Tavis is going to bend down on all fours and start tapping lightly on the carpeted floor and see if the noise changes from place to place.
It definitely seems like there's a hollow section in the center of it. It rings kind of like as you're knocking.
Okay. I think that he's going to... first he's going to check to see if there are any places where he can just lift the carpet up. If not, he'll just take the knife and slice.
If you pull on the one side, you'll see two ropes that are attached to the ends of the carpet, and as you pull on the ropes come out. And if you keep sliding across the floor, you'll see a trapdoor there.
So, do we go further down the rabbit hole?
Is there any rope or mechanism on this side of in the room to close that door behind us, that sliding wall?
Yes, there is. It looks like there's just a series of ropes that pull the covering back over the door.
Okay, I walk over to it and pull them shut.
Yeah, you'll hear that false wall slide into place outside.
Yes, let us go down there. Let us see what is happening.
After you. Tavis does what he can to pull the trapdoor open for Sergei.
Yeah, there's just some like metal rings that you can grab and tug upwards.
Okay. I think that he also pats Sergei on the back, bloodying his probably just the scruff of his neck or something as he urges him down and trying to bolster him a bit with 2 points of blood.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that was very odd feeling.
Oh, sorry. Still a little
I kind of like it, though.
Let's not make this weird, Sergei.
That puts me at a massive 4 hit points.
Yeah, you guys are pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Does Luther go down as well? Is he just hanging out?
Oh, yeah. Luther shall follow swiftly behind.
Okay.
Tavis will take up the rear.
All right. So there's just a ladder that heads down into the darkness, but you'll see the flickering light of torches. It seems like there's some dugout tunnel that looks like it heads underneath the wall and out away from the town.
This is promising.
Yeah, I do not know if there's no one down there.
There isn't, but it looks like they probably just went down this way. There's some loose stones that you can see a fresh boot track.
Now should we go back to get Rayhan? It would have been so much easier if he was still floating.
In some ways, yes.
Let us go see what is down there first, and then, if we need to, we can come back to find Rehan.
Well, hopefully this will be a safe and efficient means in and out of whatever forsaken town this is.
This must be what, Karlstadt? Is that where the witches were?
I suppose.
What do you say, Luther? Should we go down this way, or go back to get Rehan?
Well, Rehan isn't going anywhere anytime soon in his current condition. I don't see the harm of just leaving him there for now. And besides, what if we go on the other end and there's trouble there? Then we'd have Rehan in trouble as well.
Very true. Let us just go and see what is down there.
Agreed.
So if nothing else, then Rommel Z died in the insect Goblin Hill. No one ever found out what happened to him, and Rayhan's body was eaten by rats. If nothing else changes. So you guys head down this tunnel, and it becomes evidently clear that this is pretty well made and maintained. There's wood structures and wood support beams on the ceilings and walls. It seems that whoever did this spent a lot of time doing it. Seems
their
like
work is appreciated.
It's an easy way in and out of the town without the spying eyes of guards.
It leads out of town.
Yeah. You walk for some ways. You probably walk for about 15 minutes, and you realize it's still going.
That's impressive. And we're not hearing the chittering of man-eating insects or the buzz of giant wasps.
You hear no insects or wasps or anything at this point.
This is the most pleasant tunnel I've been in a while.
Some of the light of the torches reflects off of Luther's arm and throws out a myriad display of different colors and reflections on the walls.
When that happens, I just look kind of startled and I cover my eyes so I'm not looking at it.
Well, Luther will begin to play around with the images on his hand and just kind of like be it's almost like a child in a light show. He'll just be amazed by it, and he'll just start playing around with it. This is fascinating. I'm starting to think that this isn't a curse at all. This might be a blessing in disguise.
Just do not address question to arm.
Oh, yes, of course. No questions to the arm.
I try to walk a little faster, keep ahead of the lights shining off of it.
Yeah, the lights are always right behind you, moving along the walls. But
I just look over my shoulder nervously at all the reflections, and I just start walking a little faster. As fast as I can on my gimped knee.
Okay. So after a good while, probably about 30 minutes of walking, you get to what seems like the end of the tunnel, and you'll look up, and you'll see a rope, and then you'll also see a trapdoor.
Going up or down?
Up, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's up above you. It looks almost identical to the end of the tunnel that you guys came in.
Well, Sergei's in the front.
I had my thing muted, sorry. It's just a rope going straight up?
Yeah, there's a rope. There's also a ladder on the wall, I guess I should have said, that leads up to the trapdoor that exits the tunnel.
Does the rope look like it's attached to something?
There's just a hole drilled in the floor. Looks like it's probably some floor or some building above you, and the rope just goes up through that hole.
Okay, and the ladder is going in the same direction?
Yeah, the ladder goes straight to the trapdoor.
Okay. So I just put my bow over my shoulder, and then I just start carefully climbing up the ladder.
All right, about get to the top of it without any problem. It just looks like you, I don't know, there's a rope there, and then there's a trapdoor. Looks like you push it, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I try to open it.
Okay, when you try to open the trapdoor, you feel some resistance. Like it feels like it's perhaps heavier than it should be.
There might be something on top of trapdoor.
Do you need some assistance?
Let me see if I can get it to move first. So I'll put a little bit more strength into it.
Okay. Why don't you just roll under strength, see what you can get.
Okay. I rolled 17. That's way over my strength.
All right, so you push up, you get like maybe an inch, and then it comes back down.
Okay. I hope there's not people standing on it. I just try it again. I just get up a little bit closer. Then I just put my shoulder right on it, and I just try to use the strength of my entire body to push it up.
Okay, is Luther also climbing up the ladder to try to help?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you guys
As
both roll?
soon as he sees that, he'll just be right up there.
Okay. Yeah, you can both roll under strength. See if one of you gets it.
I got 5 over my strength.
I rolled an 11, which is 2 under.
Okay, Luther doesn't help much, but, it's the thought that counts, right? You'll push it, and you'll see that it looks like there's a carpet above the trapdoor.
Oh, okay.
So you basically see the underneath of carpet, and a little bit of light filtering to your eyes from the edges of the carpet.
Well, I have my left arm holding the trapdoor up above me, and with my right arm, I lift the carpet up a little bit just to peer around, see what's inside.
All right, so you'll make a little sort of like carpet tent, I guess, with your arm.
A little teak carpet tent, yeah.
And you'll see a wall, and it has a dresser drawer against it. That's what you can see through that little tunnel of carpet.
Okay, so I just try to swing it open, but I keep my hand on. The rope is attached to the trapdoor, right?
As you're looking around, it seems like the rope is attached to the carpet.
Oh, okay. Okay, that must have been some way of pulling the carpet back over. So I just, with my left arm, I lift it all the way up and try to push it over so we can climb up through.
Yeah, now that you see how it works, you just slide the carpet out, and the trapdoor opens up, and you look like you're in a abandoned old bedroom. There's like a old bed there with ratty blankets, and it looks like the ceiling there's a hole in it. It looks like rain comes through and just it's destroyed one of the walls. It's all falling apart, and the paint is flaked off. Looks like the door to the room is in pretty good condition, but it looks like it was replaced. But you don't see those gentlemen that had gone before you.
Well, I just climb up through and offer a hand to help everyone up.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Everybody climbs up to the old bedroom.
I just go and lay down on the bed.
You're sort of laying at like an angle because some of the slats have broken, so your feet are lower than your head. But
my knee is killing me.
Tavis gives it a couple of hard pats. Basically sort of telling him to suck it up while healing him for 4.
Oh, he heals him for 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be fine, Sergey.
Oh, that felt oddly better. You have strange patting skills.
You spread that word far and wide. Tavis, are there any windows in the room?
There is one. It just looks like, as you look out, there's an old farmstead. You'll see some trees and an old farm that has gone to weeds, like a field that's gone to weeds.
Okay.
You'll also see a second building that's sort of narrow and long. Maybe it was a barn.
Looks like a quiet place.
But no sign of the individuals that came before us, eh?
Not so far as we know, but what we know is just this room and what can be seen from it.
Do you think there'd be any harm in just announcing our presence here?
I suppose that depends on how you chose to announce it, Luther.
Well, I mean, obviously I was going to say that we are crusaders of justice.
I'm not sure how well that will be taken.
I think that'd be taken quite well. Only evil may fear us. Those of good hearts and clean minds, they will welcome us.
Your confidence would normally be uplifting, but... well... it doesn't always reassure me, Luther.
Oh, come now, and he'll pat you on the back. It's all right. How about I just walk outside and start looking about, eh?
Let us all go together, perhaps. I just put my hand on the bedpost and help myself up off the ground, and I walk over and close the trapdoor back, close it down, and I pull the rug back over top of it.
Okay. Looks like you guys never came up through here. Looks like it's probably the same that it looks before you came.
As good a plan as any. At least there should be plenty of places to hide.
Davis, is that door locked over there?
I'll go check. Is it?
It's not locked, and in addition to that, you see a ring of keys that are hanging from a hook that are right beside the door.
Well, probably won't need these. Would anyone like them as a souvenir?
No, not really.
Well, we'll leave them in.
I still have keys from Mother's lair.
Oh, I think it's quite rude to take their keys.
We're agreed.
I have all the souvenir keys I need.
Tavis pushes the door open and pulls it open.
Okay. You'll open the door. Let's see here. All right. You're gonna see a small hallway. As Wes is asking for cookies. There's a small hallway that looks like it has several doors. There are no lights in this room, but some natural light is filtering through the windows. You hear the sound of someone pacing, maybe down towards the end of it, maybe, but you don't see anyone.
Is the room carpeted like the others?
The hallway isn't. It's a wooden floor.
Okay. And the windows in the hallway face directions we haven't looked out yet, right?
Yeah, if you look out them, you'll see different. You won't see the farm or the barn, but you'll see more fields and trees and things like that.
Okay. I think Tavis will just creep over to them individually and take his glance around the terrain while the others check out the hall.
Okay. All right. You're going to see... so you're in that hallway. The first door looks like it's open. You'll see some flecks of bark and wood, like sort of by the hallway there in front of that door. Like I said, outside you'll see just more grass and things, trees, and things you would assume to see on a farm.
Oh, it leads outside.
The windows.
The window.
Davis
looking out the windows, and I think he said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I carefully walk over to that door that was open, and I just push it slightly open just to see what's inside.
Okay, you're going to see a lot of wood. It's piled up. It looks like there's some sort of wood burner furnace that's there. It's lit. The heat is looks like it travels upstairs.
I just continue down the hallway.
I will follow behind.
Right, the hallway will reach the end, and it looks like it turns to the right, and that's where you hear that person standing around or marching or moving in place. You're not sure.
So I just put my back up to the wall and carefully sneak over to the edge and just look right around the corner, real carefully.
You'll see an old shrine. Looks like it's devoted to probably the same god or idol in that the mother's place. It's a large insect with various small bells that are dangling off of it.
Oh no!
It's on top of a stone block. Let's see here.
I look through my pockets and find that bell that I pulled off of the statue that was down inside of the mother's lair, and look at it and see if it looks like it's the same type of bell. Yeah, it looks identical. The person that's walking is actually walking around it in circles. His head is shaved. He is wearing long robes. His eyes are closed, and he's sort of muttering to himself. So I just walk back. I slowly walk back to where the others were and tell them what I saw. There's a statue just like Bug's statue down in Mother's lair. And there's bald men walking around.
But the men who came in here were armed. Doesn't make much sense.
It makes much sense indeed. Those men must obviously be working with them.
Yes, they must be worshippers of Mother's bosom.
They just didn't seem the peacekeeping type, is all.
They must be special group. But they came up through here, and there is Mother's statue in here. They must be in league. They must be.
Well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt first. I'll walk in and introduce myself. If that person attacks me and starts using profane magics, then we know what we're dealing with, and we shall quickly kill him.
Perhaps we should check these other doors first.
Oh yes, by all means.
How many others were there in the hallway?
Looks like there's 2 more doors to 2 more buildings. Or 2 more, yeah. And 2 more rooms. Can't talk, sorry.
I think Tavis will just take a peek into them one by one, lockpicking as he needs to.
Okay. The first one you'll get up to, you'll actually hear someone snoring inside.
Well, maybe he'll check very quietly then. I think he'll gently crack the door.
Inside you'll see 3 men. One's not wearing a shirt. One is underneath a blanket. One's half under a blanket. One's actually sleeping on the floor. There's various piles of things on top of crates and other things. Looks like they have just various personal belongings. You'll see a lot of different things that look like they've been stolen from people, like purses and satchels and bags. You see some weapons that are on top of their clothes as if they just stripped and then went to bed.
Are
was hoping it was-
they the clothes of the men we saw sneak in here?
They seem of a similar make, but the people don't look the same to you. They seem different.
Okay.
I was hoping it was one big bed and they're all in there like the Three Stooges.
It looks like there's actually about 9 different beds in here. There's a bunch of bunk beds, some of them 3 high.
It's like a barracks of some sort.
So they must have very high ceilings, eh?
Yeah, probably about 15 feet, 18 feet tall, something like that.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't want to pay their heating bill. This is what it is.
Yeah. They
That's what all
seem to
that-
have that covered.
Yeah, that pile of wood.
It's a good thing there's lots of wood around.
So what do you see in there, Davis?
About 3 men. Most is news from the looks of it. They have weapons on the ground. Should we check the other room, or,
Check out the room first, and then we can come back and rob them.
Sounds good. Davis gently shifts the door shut again and walks to the next and checks it.
Okay, this one looks like it has been reinforced. It looks more well made. Looks like they used some sticks and wood from the surrounding area to fix it back up to strengthen it. It looks like it's locked.
Okay. Well, Tavis will do his best to pick that quietly. 4 on tinkering, and I have 5 on 6. So,
Okay. Looks like you've unlocked it.
all right. Same protocol. Quietly shifting it open.
Okay. As you try to open it, you feel a sharp pain as a needle comes out of the handle and stabs you in the wrist. Make me a save versus poison. You want to roll that number or above on a d20.
Alright. Oh, 17. Yes, I think that is plenty. 5 over my save.
Okay. You'll probably yank your hand back and you'll see a wound there, and there's this black liquid that's sort of like running off your hand
Well,
inside your wound, but
for
doesn't
some
seem
reason I never expect those.
to have affected you.
I guess he continues shifting the door open without handling the knob if it's already been turned.
Oh.
Or handling it more carefully.
So you open the door. Let's see here what you see here. There's a room with a bed and a dresser drawer. There's a desk. There's some papers scattered all over it. There's a number of holes in the one wall, about head high. They look like they're copper tubes, but and they're hollow. Not really sure what that's all about. Let's see here. And you see a man who's also sleeping. He's resting on the bed. He's a little bit larger, a little bit rounder, but he's fast asleep.
I reckon I may have found their boss.
What do you see in there?
Big guy sleeping. There's a desk with lots of papers on it. There could be
These
some
people
good stuff.
sleep rather late.
Well, maybe they're up all night.
Well, let's go in there.
And you also see what looks like a ladder going upstairs.
Oh. That's tempting. Alright, just keep mindful of those pipes on the wall. Well, they're a little suspicious to me.
Let us go back and rob other room.
Alright. There's a way to the second floor here, though, if that becomes of interest. Javis, again, quietly shuts the door, keeping careful note of what pricked him.
All right, why don't you roll me a stealth check?
Okay. 2.
Okay. You close the door. It is shut.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like he woke up.
Alright. Well, Sergey, you get to call the shots for the moment, unless, Luther, you have a plan?
Very well. Sergey, do you still have any rope left?
Yes, I do.
I have an idea. Since we don't know the moral ambiguity of these individuals, I would think it's a good idea that after we relinquish their burdening items upon their persons, that we then tie the knobs together on each of these doors. That way, when one tries to open them, they'll be shutting the other out.
Yeah, that could work. Are the doors right across from each other?
Oh, yeah, we'll say that the barracks and the last room that you went in, they are across from each other.
Okay.
So I guess they open inwards. So you're saying if they tried to open them, they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like as one would open the door, it would close the other one, and then he couldn't, or they couldn't open it further. So they're kind of stuck.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Luther, that the one on his own has some other means of exit with that ladder in his room.
Ah, yes. Well, we'll get to that when the time comes.
Right.
I'm worried about this bald man down by the idol of the insect god.
Oh, leave him to me. I'll just walk up and say hello and see if he's of good nature or not.
Well, Tavis is still wearing uniform of man-catcher people. He could walk up to him too.
Yes, but we haven't seen anyone around here that wears that uniform, so...
I would like to see the reaction, though.
Should we tend to that first, or relieve these fellows of their goods?
Let's rob these people, tie doorknobs together, then we can go assault bald man.
Alright. I guess Tavis will, quietly make his way into the room and see if he can, bundle the weapons that are already on the clothes, in the clothes, and, carry them out.
Okay. That's fine. Upstairs, you hear some booted feet. Look like they're walking from one room to another.
Maybe this is their wake-up call.
Well...
Let us take their stuff and leave.
Yeah, Tavis leaves the room with the bundle. And starts, gently poking through it to see if there's anything of note.
Okay, so you basically, I think you said you grabbed some of the leather and some of the weapons that are on top, things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like it's just, it's very dark, black leather. It seems very well crafted. There are a pair of daggers on top, a small hand axe. You'll see probably about 3 small pouches with coins in it. I think there's probably about 200 silver and probably about 50 gold in total.
Jackpot.
We can distribute these later. Tavis slips in his bag.
I pull out my rope and I start doing as Luther suggested and tie the doorknobs together.
Okay, so the doorknobs are tied together. the one person sleeping by himself, and the barracks, those two doors are tied so that they can't really open them at all. Probably tied really tight.
Let us go take care of Bald Man. Let's find out what this place is.
Indeed. I will begin taking the lead at this point and just marching forward.
Watch the door, Luther. Don't put your hand on the doorknob without taking note of the little speck there.
Luther will just wave his hand. I know. I have this under control.
Davis will smirk and let him take the lead.
Okay. You'll see the insect shrine there. You'll see that man with the shaved head and closed eyes just walking around in circles. He's ringing.
He's ringing a bell.
My son is banging on plates and things over here. You'll see the small bells of the insect god. Every once in a while he'll just reach out and ding.
Luther will gently push the door open, careful not to touch the knobs.
As he's doing that, I pull my bow off from over my shoulder and I knock an arrow. I'm just staying behind.
As you get a closer look at the idol, it looks like there's a small door that has some clasps that keep it closed, like in sort of like the stomach of the insect, of the ant. Ding! He reaches out and hits another bell. Seems like he clicks a bell like every 2 or 3 revolutions around the statue.
I will walk up to the man and I will say, "Excuse me, sir."
He'll stop his revolutions and he'll look your way. You'll see that his mouth has been stitched shut, as well as his eyes. They're in the form of like crosses or X's over his eyes. And he just sort of looks at you and tilts his head a little bit.
We'll look back at Sergei and I'll say, I don't think he's going to be of any help to us. I'll look back at him and I'll say, "Sorry I disturbed you." And I'll just walk out.
Okay. He'll reach over and start unclasping the doors of the stomach of the ant.
Pull him away from there. I don't trust what is inside of there.
I will shove him aside. I'll just...
Okay. Give me a roll under strength. See what you get.
All right.
I'll do the same.
Oh, I got 7 points over.
Luther is the strongest man ever. So you shove the eye stitched, mouth stitched man, who turns his head, even though he can't really see you. But his arms continue to unclasp the thing, and then he yanks down violently at the end. It comes off. The whole door comes off, and inside you see what looks like the corpse of an old man who has had all sorts of metallic objects stitched and weaved into his skin, like sharp metallic spikes on the end of his arms, on the end of his legs, so it looks like it's almost impossible to walk. But he comes tumbling out right near you, and it uses the spikes as if like an ant would use its legs. So it's sort of like the mother was with her stilts, except these have been like stitched and weaved into his skin. And as you look, it looks like there's actually layers of flesh that have been wrapped around that don't match the color of his skin. So it looks like the skin of other people has been used. And it starts to get up on all fours. So like the spikes are probably about 2 feet long past his hands and past his legs. And that's what it is sort of stepping up on. You see that there's lots of stitching and things that must have been done inside this thing, this person. And the head, however, is the head of an ant. The antennae are twitching. The mandibles are quaking and opening. But how about you roll initiative, guys? Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll roll the initiative if there are no objections.
Yeah, you're the closest. Sure.
Okay. I got a 6.
Okay. I rolled a 2. So the ant is just starting to get up on its spindly metallic legs.
No, not again, not again, not again.
Clink, 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 as it's standing up.
Not again.
And then, we can't. Yeah. You guys are up, so.
Okay,
You just went first. I guess Luther's closest, so what does Luther do?
I'm thinking of something real quick here.
If you need some time, somebody else can go. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
How about Tavis? What does Tavis do?
At this point, can Tavis even see the ant man?
Yeah, I think you guys are all at the entrance. So
Okay.
Luther just sort of brashly moved into the room. Brashly, is that a word?
I think that he's going to tense up and spend the round as carefully as possible, drawing a bead on it with his crossbow.
Okay, you'll notice that the sounds of those metallic legs are loud on the floor.
All right, so we don't have much time.
So you draw your crossbow. I think you probably did. I don't think you said that you had it loaded before, right?
No, I guess if it was slung across his back, it
Okay.
probably wouldn't have been loaded.
So you probably pull it out and load it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What does Sergey do? Other than saying not again.
Not again! He just lets an arrow fly right at the ant thing.
Okay. Don't roll 1.
Yeah, please no one. No, I rolled, let's see, an 11 plus 8. So
Okay.
that's a 19.
That's good.
That is for a whopping 2 points of damage.
3 points of damage. Okay, so your arrow goes flying into one of the flanks of the legs. It doesn't seem to react that much to that.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
Okay, so we're back to Luther.
Okay, so everyone else are they inside the room or are they in the hallway facing the room?
I think they're in the hallway, just shooting in through the doorway.
Okay, I will go through there and I will just close the door.
Close it. Oh, so you're gonna leave and close the door.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I will look to Sergey and I will say, all right, do you have any more ropes, sir?
That was last of rope. I tied doors together.
So is Luther like holding the doorknob at this point?
Sort of the deal where like I just grab on the edge and I kind of just fling it shut.
Okay. All right.
That would work.
So out of the door comes
Hello?
Sorry. Oh, I muted myself. So out of the door comes a 2-foot-long spike.
Oh boy.
As you're holding onto the door right there.
Ooh.
Let's see if it attacks you. What's your armor class for Luther?
20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I rolled a 19. Yeah, that's going to hit. So you're holding the door, asking what's going to happen, and the spike just goes right into your side.
Ooh.
Let's see here. That's right, you're pretty low. All right, that's actually going to do 3 damage.
Okay.
So yeah, the spike is. It seems like it's actually stuck in the door now. You'll see it like twitching and moving, which doesn't feel so good when it's inside of you.
Oh.
But yeah, that's just what happened. I guess if you guys are going to do something else, I don't think we're in initiative right now. They're pretty much locked in the room, unless you guys can tie it. So what do you guys do? Door's closed. There's a spike. It's in the side of Luther.
I will look to Sergei and I'll grab him by the shoulders and I'll say, I think I have a plan here. We're going
Let us get Spike out of you first.
No. First, we set fire, and then we purge this place by fire, and then we leave. Spikes can come out later.
Sounds like a good idea, but you will be staying here if we do not get Spike out of here.
Oh, agreed.
So I just try to help him pull him loose from the Spike.
Who let me sleep this long? Son of a bitch! Ugh, what the fuck? You'll hear the door, like, starting to try to open, and the rope is, like, caught, you know? This is some sort of fucking joke! What the hell? Motherfucker! I'm gonna rip your nuts off when I get out of here! You think it's fucking funny? Motherfucker!
Alright, let's set the place on fire. There was that first room down at the other end that was just abandoned that had all the wood in it. We could just go down there, set all that wood on fire, and get out through the window there.
Well, that's their furnace room.
But wasn't there a window there?
Well, there are windows in the hallway, for that matter.
Oh, okay.
Do they have glass in them?
I meant we were seeing outside, so I would imagine there's probably glass in them.
Oh, yeah, there's glass windows.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the climate.
Let's set the wood on fire.
So his door is, like, clattering, and he's yanking on it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so I run back down the hallway. You're really low. I can just barely hear you, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't like it when I yell.
Oh, it's an auto volume.
Yeah, it sometimes takes a slow while to get back to my normal volume.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, okay, there we are. Some of the people in the barracks are starting to wake up.
So I run down the hallway, and I duck underneath the rope, tying the two doors together. I go back into that other room with all the wood, and as I'm doing that, I'm pulling out my tinderbox.
I just wanted to point out that the furnace in the room is working. It's on fire.
Oh, it is on fire. Oh, okay.
There's burning logs already in it, so it wouldn't.
Okay.
There's like this metal like iron bars to move the coals around with and stuff. You think you could probably pry out some of those burning logs and
just throw them on the other ones.
Yeah.
I pull out my bottle of rot gut, and I stick a rag down in it. I just kiss the bottle and set it on fire and throw it down the hallway.
Towards the rooms that are tied shut, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tavis is just following close behind and covering
Take out
the
burning
doors
embers.
with a crossbow.
Take out burning embers, throw them down the hallway.
Luther will engage in this activity as well, just tossing the embers with the instruments.
Okay, so has Luther unimpaled himself yet?
Yeah, we pulled him off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You'll see a second spike go, coming out of the door, but you're nowhere near it at this point.
Ugh.
But yeah, there's burning embers. The rot gut has spilled, and that's burning. Seems like it's starting to catch.
I take logs, I just catch them on fire and throw them down the hallway, and then I just put more of the burning logs on top of the other wood that's sitting there. And I just knock the glass out of one of the windows and try to climb through it.
Okay, so you guys are heading outside, not back into the tunnel that you came through. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you break glass and you're outside in the farm. Let's see where you guys are then.
Does there smoke? Does it look like it's catching on fire well?
Yeah, it seems like it's starting to. It might take a little while. You guys, so Sergei's out first. Who's next?
Tavis is going to try and keep covering the back and maybe help Luther out next if he wants to head that way.
Okay. Did you guys do anything with the door? with the insect thing? Did you
It
block
was-
it?
If we did.
We closed it, but then the spikes started flying through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are crawling out the window, then the door will open. You'll see the thing with the spikes is kind of stuck in the door, but the blind man is just is sort of tilting his ears around, like trying to figure out where you guys are.
Well, hopefully he can't hear us over the crackling.
Probably smells the burning at this point. Okay, so you guys get outside. You hear some more screaming from the barracks. Lots of swearing.
I will, as we're outside, I'll begin to kneel down and be in prayer, and I will keep muttering underneath my breath, "By fire be purged."
Okay. All right. Outside, there's going to be so there's a couple guards that are running from the woods towards the house, and they seem like they've spotted you.
Well, if I were a quick change artist, I'd get into this armor.
Luther will approach the men and say, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. The place is on fire. You've got to help us. We barely escaped with our lives."
I'm not sure if the bolt in his crossbow is for the guards or for Luther.
All right. So the men running, see Luther. He's talking to them and yelling. What? They pull up their bows and they look confused. What are you doing here?
What do you mean what we're doing here? Can't you see the place is on fire? What are you going to do? Shoot the fire with arrows? Go on, help!
Oh, you came to put the house out?
Well, yes! What is a good person to do but to let a house burn? What is wrong with you?
They all look at each other like they're confused, and two of them put their arrows down, the last one just keeps pointing it at you. Where are the others at? Did they get out?
No, they're stuck inside. We're trying to get them out, but the flames are starting to consume the place. We had no choice but to get out before our lungs were filled with smoke. Come on, we gotta do something. Don't just stand there like a twat. If you don't do something now, those men will die, and their blood will be on your hands.
Well, you came out from that window there, right? They should be coming out behind you.
Flames were high behind us. We were able to escape only by ourselves.
Yeah.
The man will run over to the window. Hello? Is anybody in there? Motherfucker, get me out of here!
See? They're trapped in there.
He starts crawling in the window. You two, come on! And they'll see the guy with the insect thing. He starts crawling out of the window.
I will look to the other two, and I will say, okay, I think now is our chance to run for it.
Is this your friend? They're pointing to the guy with the stitched eyes. What's he doing
No!
out here?
No! We don't know him!
He must be the arsonist.
Yes! Look how crazy he is!
Alright, and they just start shooting him with arrows.
We will go get help.
And the insect guy with the stitches falls over. The hell? I've never seen an arsonist look like this.
He's a very evil arsonist.
They get more wicked by the day, they have. There's a third one I've seen this week.
Must be a cult or something. What's this one? The guys that are there. So there's one guy left. The other two have gone down inside. You hear lots of swearing. You hear some screaming. Do you guys just start running into the woods at this point?
Yes.
That's news-wise. What does the guy's uniform look like?
Just all black leathers.
Oh, okay. So, exactly the same sort.
But it's weird that they didn't seem to know who that insect guy was. Alright, so you guys just start running into the woods, huh?
Yeah, we're just getting out of there.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
We're all on death's door. I don't think we're going to be engaging much.
Okay. You start looking up at the sky. You think that you're probably west of Karlstadt, where you guys were just at. But yeah, there's some woods and there's like a small stream, some tall oak trees, some willow trees that are nearby.
From the edge of the woods, I just hide behind one of the trees and just keep watch and see what's happening at the house.
You'll see that out of that broken window that you guys came out, that one soldier or two soldiers can come back out, and they start like sort of lifting out burned people. Like the one guy looks like his arm was badly burned, and they're starting to pull them out, but they only pull two people out before the ceiling collapses, and more flames start to gut out the side of the building and the roof.
Are they the people whose clothing we stole?
One guy is half dressed, and so is the other one.
Okay.
So they didn't get their stuff before the flames spread. Yeah, they're watching the farmhouse burn down to the ground from the woods.
Yeah, basically did. I'm just sitting there watching, seeing what's happening. If anyone else gets out, if anyone else comes.
It seems like the loudmouth larger male didn't get out. It's just some of the people that are, I guess, working for him. Maybe you're not really sure.
So I'm assuming that
the spike thing didn't get out. No.
Okay, good. That's all I care.
It got stuck in the door, and it wasn't able to free itself.
Yeah, that was the main concern.
So yeah, you have a smoldering fire. The only building that isn't burnt is the barn that was off adjacent to it.
No, the problem is going back to get Rehan.
That could be a trick.
Oh, don't worry. All things in good time. We will tend to Rehan soon enough.
Yes. If he wakes up, he will be a bit surprised. We left him there tied up underneath a pile of rags with rocks piled on top of him.
Rehan is a very resourceful man. I'm sure he'll find his way out of that. And not before we find him as well.
Well, should we go back to Karlstadt? I mean, we cannot leave him there.
Oh, of course not. But if you would pardon just for me to rest a bit, I am a bit weary and slightly exhausted from our previous encounter, I suppose.
Luther, you start to see maggots crawling out of Sergei's nose, and they all have the faces of children.
I run over with a rag and I just start brushing them off his face. Like,
what are you doing?
Sergei, stand still. There are maggots crawling out of you. Just hold still. I've almost got them all.
What?
Sergei, you're pretty sure there's not maggots crawling out of your nose.
There are no maggots. What are you doing? What are you trying to do?
Well, there's no maggots now because I just got rid of them. Thank you very much.
Where did they go to? Where did they go to? I see no maggots.
They're slippery things. They must have crawled inside the wood. They had the faces of children, they did. Nasty creatures. I would hate to see what they look like when they've grown.
What are you talking about?
No, the maggots. They were crawling out of your face. You know what? They must have crawled onto you as we were trying to get out of the building. They must have been inside the wood. Fire drew them out.
Wood maggots with baby faces?
Well, we just fought an insect with a bunch of metal legs.
And people say that I am crazy. I do not see any maggots. What are you talking about?
Oh, the maggots are gone now. Of course you wouldn't see them. It's all good now.
This is not right. I just start walking a little bit away into the woods. Let us get out of sight of house.
I second that motion.
Agreed.
Are you guys walking in the direction of Karlstadt, or are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, because we have to go back to get Rayhan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys will be heading east then. So you're traveling and moving through the trees. Lots of oaks. There's some maples here and there. Good amount of willows. And you'll come across a large lake.
Are the waters calm?
It seems that the waters are a little bit brown. Looks like it might have rained in the recent days.
Okay.
A few streams that are also brown. You'll see some fish jumping out in the middle of it.
Let us rest here for a moment.
Is as good a place as any?
Oh, in the serene bosom of nature, there is no better place.
Let's not use any bosom metaphors for a while. Davis gets a bit of a foul taste in his mouth.
On the far side of the lake, you see this strange structure of standing stones and a mound in the center of them. A mound of dirt and weeds, and there's no trees, just lots of brush and things that are growing on top of it.
On the other side of the stream?
On the other side of the lake.
The lake. There's fish jumping out of the...
Out of the lake. Mm-hmm. Well, they're jumping in the center of it, surfacing and...
okay, I thought they're just, frantically jumping up out of it.
No, just, every once in a while something will surface and jump out. Look like perhaps a bass or trout, something like that.
I'll sit down on the lake or on the edge of the lake, and I'll just pull out my fishing gear and start fishing.
Oh, okay. Why don't you just make me just a D20 roll. Tell me what you get.
And you got an 18.
Okay. It takes probably about an hour, but eventually you'll snag something.
Okay.
You pull it up, and it looks like it's a bass, probably about 12 inches long.
Okay, I just dehook it, put it in a bag, and start fishing again.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Just sort of hanging out?
I'll join in the fishing.
You also have a fishing rod and tackle?
No, but
You can encourage.
You'll be a fishing cheerleader?
I can give pointers, and I could forage for other things to eat.
I'm sure your flashing hand would make a marvelous lure.
There are some berries nearby if you're searching around.
All right, there we go. Collect them berries. I'll collect as many as I can that can hold in my helmet.
Okay. Helmet's a pretty good place to put berries.
Yep.
Should I start a small fire for cooking, Sergey?
Sure.
Tavis pulls out his tinderbox and sees if he can scrounge together something that will be sufficiently hot but not produce too much smoke.
Okay. Yeah, there are some small twigs and sticks around that you think you could start a nice fire.
How far did we travel away from the burning house?
I don't know. Let's say you walked about an hour.
Okay.
So you got the lake.
While I'm fishing, I'm also eyeing that structure on the other side of the lake.
Okay.
Seeing if there's anything I can notice about it.
Yeah, the only thing you notice is that the wind shifts the vegetation on top of it. That's about it. Why don't you make another D20 roll? Just tell me how low you get. As you're fishing.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. After another hour, it must have been a good hour, you get about 5 more fish. Mixture of bluegill, bass, and some sort of fish you'd never seen before. Sort of tubular.
Okay, well, I will let Tavis cook them.
So how are you going to cook the fish?
Well, he's going to gut them skillfully and I guess, sort of lay them out in fillets over a flat stone if I can find one.
Yeah, there's flat stones, and you have the fire. Heat up the stone, cook the fish. Yeah, I think that'll work out. Nice fragrant smell of fish cooking on stone.
Well, that was a good break. Perhaps we should start heading back to Karlstad after we've eaten.
I second that motion greatly.
Oh, this lake is so idyllic, though. Yes, I suppose we should leave quickly before our memories of it turn unpleasant with whatever's wrong about this piece of land.
Luther, you start to see the surface of the water start to turn red.
Oh, too late.
Well, this is just Luther. Yeah. So that's why I keep saying Luther.
Right.
Luther, the surface of the lake turns red, and the mound, those stones on the far side, take on sort of translucent, shimmering quality. And then it all just slowly reverts back to brown water.
Luther will stare at the lake, and his gaze it will look vacant and void, and as he eats his food, he'll actually stop and kind of stare out there, and his look will become very serious. His hand will slightly shimmer as he puts the berries to his mouth, and then looks back into the fire and continues as he was. And, of course, sharing the berries.
Good berry and fish lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we should let us start heading back to town.
Yes, indeed.
Now that we're well fortified.
What was that, Alex? I barely heard you.
Now that we're well fortified. Tabith just begins to brush himself off and surveys the horizon.
Why don't you guys give me like a D3 roll and a D6.5 for hit points back? You guys rested up. So, got some peace and quiet, some tranquility.
Oh, yeah, I got 3 back.
As did I.
I got 1.
Wasn't very peaceful for Sergey.
No,
Yeah.
he was fishing. The anxiety of fishing.
I'd forgotten what a master you are on the lake, Sergey.
Yes.
Davis gives him a pat on the back of job well done and heals him for 4.
Okay, well, he's slowly climbing back up there. So is there any roads or paths or anything that we see?
There does seem like there's a path that leads over towards the mound, like a path around the lake. But other than that, no, it's just woods that are surrounding.
Well, we should probably start heading back to Karlstad. Unless someone has something else.
Nope,
Unless
let
someone
us
really
let us
wants
make
to go
haste.
check that mound.
I think we're fine with the director.
Okay, so you guys head east towards Karlstad. Alrighty, so you guys travel for a ways, and it takes probably about a half an hour, and you'll start to see the town ahead of you. You'll see the walls, sections of the city. You'll see a moat that's around it. You must have gone under it with the tunnel. And there's a river to the south. That's where the bridge went over. You'll see the guards that are looking pretty much right at you. Every 50 yards or so on the tail.
I look up to the guards and I say, "Ho there! May we gain passage inside?"
Go around to the entrance. We'll ask your questions there. All refugees head to the entrance. They point to the south.
Yep.
As we start making our way over to there, I try to hide my weapons away without being obvious about it.
What weapons are you hiding and where?
Well, I just have my short sword that I have strapped to my side. I'm just kind of turning my belt around so it's behind me. And then I just have my bow that I have over my shoulders, and I just have my robe or my cloak hiding over that.
Okay. You think that your short sword is hidden pretty well. Your bow is obviously, it's pretty obviously seen. Yeah. What were you going to say, Alex?
Well, I suppose if Sergei's bow is visible, Tavis may as well have his open too. Just slung across his back.
Luther will try to have his hammer hidden as best as he can underneath cloth.
Okay. As you travel to the south entrance, you see that there's actually a good many people here. It looks like there's about 200 people that are waiting in line. You'll see various, people with backpacks and different things, and you also see a pile of weapons to the side of the entrance to the city. Seems like they're disarming people before they enter in.
Perhaps Tavis could get us in with his special uniform.
But the thing is, those fellows seem to go out of their way to move in and out covertly. I'm not sure that they'd be treated as a highly official presence.
Well, when you walked us through town before, they seemed to not mind too badly.
Oh, I guess. But that wasn't at the checkpoint out front.
Yeah, but there's still same guards. Same evil guards from evil witches.
Alright, well, as long as you'll have my back.
I will have your back.
Tavis, I guess, tries to look official in his, peacekeeper uniform with the crossbow slung across his back.
Alright, are you just going to sort of march forward past, ignoring the fact that there's a line there, or are you going to stay in the line? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think he'll just try and skip the line, and he'll hand off the crossbow to Sergei, actually, so that he can carry it, rather than the person who's supposed to be keeping the peace.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, so you'll march up. There's actually 4 guards there.
Are the guards armed, or just with the man catchers?
They have the man catchers, that's it.
Okay.
But you'll see, 2 of the guards are basically throwing the weapons in piles. One of them is searching everyone, patting them down, and one's just sort of standing there barking orders. He looks at you. Brother, looks like you've had a little bit of, tough time out there.
It has been a rough one. We're in a hurry, though. This group is supposed to be expedited through.
Well, blessings from the Maker. Please enter in. He'll sort of motion and let you guys through. He doesn't even question the weapons that you have. He does eye them up, but he doesn't say anything.
Excellent. I guess we head on in. Well, Tavis is going to try leading the group along the periphery, along that wall again to the point where Rayhan was.
Yeah, if you just go into the left, you'll pass that place that used to be the secret church. That's now a burnt pile of ashes, and some of the buildings beside it are also burnt.
Oh my!
There's still some smoke rising from the burning wood. There seems like there's some people that have dumped a bunch of water on some of the surrounding buildings. You'll still see them standing there with buckets, just making sure that it is calmed down. And same thing when you keep walking, you'll see that other building. It's also been burnt to the ground. This one, however, has some of your soldiers that are there. There's two of them that are sort of talking to each other. You'll see them before they see you.
Okay, and this is the building
that you guys came out of, that tunnel?
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we'll listen in on their conversation, but I think Tavis is going to try and keep moving.
Okay. So you have the option of moving right past them or turning and going down some other alleyway. You just want to... Yeah, if you walk past them, you'll hear more, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's the option Tavis would opt for.
Okay. You'll move forward, and the first one has their back to you, so they don't see you coming till the last minute. But what do you mean you didn't find them? They were in there. They should have been... You should have had them. That old bastard. He keeps doing this. He knows the rules. He's the reason people are dying. I'm sorry. I lit the fire, as you said. Nobody came out. I didn't know there was a tunnel back there. And then he'll see you. Blessings in the name of the Maker. Where are you heading with these men? Why are they armed?
They're being expedited to the 5th.
To the 5th?
Yes, the 5th of the Witches.
He sort of looks at you very strangely. What do you mean the 5th?
Well...
What's your name and serial number?
I'm starting to think you're not qualified to know that.
Who do you serve?
Peace, above all.
Yes. But which one of them?
I don't have time for this. Tavis keeps walking.
You, stop! I want to know your name.
My name is Stan.
Yes, and who do you serve?
Mother.
Now, was that so hard? Jeez, you freaking new recruits. Get out of here.
Mother.
Yes. Mother. I know.
Mother.
Get them out of here.
Will do. You seem so intent on us hanging around.
Mother.
Towards where Rayhan was.
Okay. You head to a familiar pile of trash that is floating 4 feet off the ground.
Okay.
You see like dangling legs and arms hanging out underneath it, and you see a familiar pair of children that are just staring at it, and they're poking him with sticks.
I walk up to the children. Children, stop that! Shoot!
Ah!
Come on!
Hey, the gods are back.
Yes, and this is miracle. Do not speak of it.
What? Are you trying to float back up into the sky where you guys came out of?
Oh, no, dear child. We would never do that. Why would we leave you all in such disarray?
Oh, what's with this one? He's like asleep or something. I whacked him in the head like about 12 times. He didn't wake up.
You what?
Yeah, with a stick right here. Yeah, he just whacks right on like the side of the face as hard as he can.
I grab the stick and I go, no. How about we stop doing that, child? I kneel down and I say, every time you whack him on the head, you merely delay the miracles that he could give unto us all. This is Rayhan, the Grand, Rayhan, the Savior. He serves a higher power than you and I. And his magic is mystical. Why, even now he is in a trance, transcending all transfigured minds in such a way that you and I could barely comprehend.
Wow. So you gotta let the gods sleep, huh?
Not only that, but let them talk, for that is how they speak.
But you're one. Are you like his like brother god?
Merely a disciple, a man who travels the land doing what he can.
Can you fly in the sky? Can I fly in the sky? I want to fly in the sky.
We will all fly in the sky soon.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Do we have to
But I
jump
need
off
you to
buildings
go
first?
I need you to go find your friends, all of your little children friends, and go to the fountain and wait for us there.
Oh, do you guys only help children? You like children gods?
Well, we have special assignment for children. Just go to fountain and wait for us there.
So get as many kids as I can and tell them that the gods are going to help them. But be quiet
Just
about
wait.
it. But the gods
Yes.
get mad, right?
Yes, exactly. Do not tell your parents where you're going. Just go wait by fountain.
Okay, Mr. God. We'll go get kids and bring them to the fountain. Should we bring gifts? Like, you like bread?
No, just
Or like
gather by
frogs and
fountain.
stuff?
Just gather by fountain and
Oh.
sing songs.
Oh, what kind of songs?
Well, any songs that you children know.
Oh,
Children songs.
okay. Oh, okay. We'll go. Oh, sure. He grabs his sister's hair and yanks her, and then they run off.
God, get rid of them. Now what are we going to do with Rayhon? He's floating again.
Only so much we can do.
I have no more rope.
Oh, that is it. Oh boy. I'll try to see if I can push him back down again.
As soon as you touch him, you're also levitating like he is.
Oh, blast it. I just let go, and I was like, oh.
And then, he's still floating 4 feet above with garbage piled on him.
Well, I try to tie rags together to make like a rag rope, and then try to tie that around his ankle.
Okay.
And then I'll just pull him along.
So you have like a floating garbage heap behind you?
Yeah. I don't know what else we can do with
Oh,
It
I
does
know.
look pretty strange.
Luther will look to Tavis and say, how about we get on each end and make it look like we're hauling this garbage? That way it's not so suspicious.
But then you might start floating up with it. With him.
We'll just pretend that we're touching it.
Very good. Well, what else were we going to do? We can't leave him sitting here.
Certainly not.
We have to find better place to hide him away.
Well, it seems a little circuitous, but there is that tunnel that led out.
As you guys are talking, you hear more cheers and screaming. Seems like it's on the other side. Like you're in along the wall, and then there's like a street or alleyway where you guys are at, and then there's the buildings, and behind those buildings is that torture area. But they seem like they've been torturing people for a long time.
Well, there has to be a better place to hide him. The way we can investigate this torturing.
Well, if they don't discover the tunnels, then that would be presumably a good spot to hide him in. Well, perhaps not even in the tunnel, perhaps just in that little area before the tunnel.
Yes, we could leave him there.
And if he floats, all he's going to hit is the ceiling and he won't go no farther.
And since we burned down house on other side, they probably won't be going through there.
Indeed.
Seems like just the spot then.
So I'll pull him along, leading back to that place.
Okay. You get back to that place that has the hidden door, and it's been doesn't look like it's been disturbed at all. And it's not very hard to stash Rayhan in a tunnel underneath the town.
Well, we're just going to leave him in that room that goes to the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Above the carpet. Okay.
Yeah.
So you leave a floating pile of Rayhan garbage in the room. That's fine.
Well, then we close the door back and pull the secret door panel back over it.
Luther, you see Tavis's face is bleeding. It looks like there's blood coming out of his eyes.
I immediately get a rag and I start wiping his face. Oh, hold still, Tavis. I've got it for you. I've got it.
So considerate. What was on my face?
Oh, all this
More
blood.
baby-faced maggots.
No, it's blood. Can't you see the blood? It's everywhere. Oh, it's everywhere. This blood is. It's everywhere.
Well, I don't doubt it, but it's mostly on my hands, really.
Well, let's get it off. It must be very hard for you to see, yes?
With the cloth covering my face, yes, it is, Luther. I'm
There.
fine.
There. The blood must be gone now, yes? Yes. The blood. It's all gone now.
I am going crazy. Let us get out of here. Let us go see what was happening with screamings.
Yeah, that'll be calming.
You all sort of have this sensation. Something happens. The reality seems to shift. You all seem taller and then shorter. You'll see the faces of your compatriots being warped and stretched. You'll feel this feeling of warmth in your center, and you'll start to sweat, and you'll get sort of lightheaded and dizzy, and then it stops.
Anyone have any extra appendages? No?
I seem to be all here, yes?
What is going on? I do not like this. This is horrible.
Alright, we need a plan. Where are we off to? Any of these buildings look empty enough we could check out the proceedings in the next clearing from them?
Well, it seems like most of the buildings are occupied. They seem like they're in pretty good repair. There's no broken windows or boarded up doors. You'll feel another warmth emanate from your chest. This time it feels like your legs are crawling with ants. A strange tingling sensation over your faces.
Oh.
And then you'll see a woman who's walking along the edge of the wall. And in front of her is this strange, bizarre-looking creature. It has what looks like a brain with lots of tentacles, with mouths and teeth on the ends of them.
Just walking out in plain sight and open.
Yeah, she's walking along the edge of the wall. She's dressed in a very ornate, long dress. It's low cut, but she doesn't have much there to show.
It must be one of witches.
I will approach her and I will say, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, brother. What seems to be the problem? And her eyes are like solid black. There's no whites in them at all. And when she looks at you, just sort of a strange appearance. The creature is sort of writhing. It sort of tumbles over itself with its various tentacles to move.
Do you live here? Because if you did, we are sorry for intruding.
Are you with him? And she looks at Tavis.
Oh, of course, yes. Most definitely.
She looks down at your weapons.
I'm keeping an eye on them.
Who do you belong to?
Mother. Mother.
They know who they belong to.
I ask who you belong to. Do you serve the mother? How is she?
She's not particularly well.
What has happened, or are you here to bring a message?
No, she's just under the weather.
Tavis, your hands will stop bleeding. This is the first time you haven't felt a wetness on your palms in a long time. And you see that one of the tentacles of the creature is bleeding now. That's odd.
What's happening to your little friend there?
And she sort of looks around at you all. That is very odd. She investigates the tentacle. She just sort of picks it up and looks at it. She looks back at you. Are you here to speak to the council?
Mother.
Eventually. We have some things to do first.
Do you need an escort?
I think we're alright for now. It's well under control. Where are you off to?
I'm just making my rounds. We've heard strange rumors of things amiss in the area.
Mother.
What could be amiss?
That's why I'm asking. If you serve the mother and you're here with a message, then we haven't heard from her in a while.
Unfortunately, I have nothing new to share if there's anything strange going on. But if you think it wise that we rouse her and see if she has any insights on the matter, I can perhaps we can head back and
Something's strange here. I can't quite put my finger on it. And she'll sort of like wave her hand and mutter something under her breath. Why don't you all make a save versus magic or spell?
Oh, no.
okay.
That's the worst possible thing. I'll actually roll a natural 20.
One over.
Okay. How about Luther?
I got 3 over.
Okay. For a brief second, you thought that she looked a lot more attractive. That she looked like someone you should like look up to, submit to, and then that sort of just fades away from view. Oop. Hold on, guys. I think I have a visitor outside. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
So I really...
I'll be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
All right.
But my main idea of coming back into town was just to get Rayhan. I have no idea where we should head in town.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out an explanation that would allow us to slip our way out.
We can just ride Rayhan up over the wall.
I thought about that, but it seems a little conspicuous.
Yeah. If we waited till night, we could ride. If he's still floating, we could ride him up over.
There we go. And all the children would be so awestruck.
Yeah.
We could drop little presents in their homes.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need a plan of action of what we're actually trying to do. I thought that those guys in the dark armor were serving the mother bug thing, but they didn't know that guy was in that place.
No. So, I mean, they just look like a thieves' guild.
Yeah, they might have been that underground, though, and we just burned out the whole underground.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back, guys.
Yeah, we were just talking about we might have just burned out the entire underground when we burned out that building.
Well,
I
the
guess-
tunnel was rough hewn, wasn't it? So it's not. Well, I suppose there were support beams there.
Yeah, it was pretty well made, actually.
Yeah. But I don't think it would be particularly flammable, is all.
The tunnel? No, it's like
No, I mean-
dirt.
I mean, just everyone that was in that house that we burned down. They might have been the resistance.
The resistance force, yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so she looks like she just tried to cast something, and you guys all resisted it.
Again, if you can't put your finger on it, and I can't put my finger on it, well, I'll have to look to higher powers to solve this.
The mother must be up to some strange things these days. Well,
Mother.
if you return, she should know that the army is around her. I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know if you can return at this point.
Oh.
So strange. I wonder. We shall protect everyone. You'll see.
Mother.
I'm not sure the army could find her, though. There are many tunnels. So perhaps it would be sensible if we relayed a message to her that they were passing through. And Mother and, well, her constituents could form the flank.
Well, yes, perhaps the council should send her a message. It'll be much faster if we send it. But
Right.
You had best stay with us. The Cantil Empire is fastly approaching.
If we stay with you, then how will the message get to her in time?
We have our ways. But yes, all right. Never mind. Off with you. She'll just start walking past you. The creature, however, just keeps sitting where it is.
Okay.
Come on. What? What's the matter?
Let us get out of here.
She goes over to her, she'll grab by one of the tentacles, and she starts dragging it along the walls.
Tavis just keeps walking to I guess the opposite direction.
Okay. You'll see that the creature, some of the tentacles are like reaching out, trying to like point or something, but she seems to ignore them. And she keeps walking around the edges of the town.
I do
And-
not like nasty creatures.
Eventually, your hands will start bleeding again.
Okay. I would never think that was reassuring, except for...
Phew, my hands are bleeding again.
Oh, yeah. Man, I was sweating sweat rather than... Ideas, folks?
Well, I was thinking maybe once it turns dark and if Rayhan is still floating, we can ride him up over walls.
Should we just hide out in that building then until then?
We should go find out what is going on with torture, with screamings.
I suppose so.
We can put our weapons inside the room with Rayhan, or at least ones that are obvious,
Right. Good plan.
so we're not constantly stopped. What do
Yeah.
you say, Luther?
I'm all for that plan, but I don't think I need to hide my weapon. It's pretty unconventional looking, though, don't you think?
It's your hammer. I can hide much underneath of my cloak. But let's go find torture.
Yeah, alright. I'll hide the hammer here for now.
And Tavis, of course, there's his crossbow in there as well.
I still have my short sword, but it's on my belt, and I've turned it around behind, so it's hidden behind my cloak.
Okay. Yeah, that one seems like it's pretty easily concealed. The longbows, however, aren't.
Yeah, so I put that in the room with Rayhan.
All of Tavis's various knives are just in his backpack. Wrapped in leather.
Okay. So you guys are headed towards the area that you hear the screams and cheering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you move through the alleyways, and eventually you'll get to the section where it's at. Like I said, it's sort of like almost like a square of buildings around this area with a few alleyways and things into it. In the center, you see a large tree. It looks like it's pretty peaceful, surrounding almost like a little park. A few trees, and there's a pool there. But from the tree, there's a rope, and there's a pen of about 30 naked people, varying ages, and you think you see some children in there. And there's a platform that leads up to the rope. What they're doing, as you see the pile of bodies there, they look like they're tying the sexual organs of people to ropes and then just throwing them off of this platform, and it's basically just ripping them apart. It's ripping out their insides.
Oh, wonderful. That's...
There's hooks. There's hooks on the end of the rope. There's a few other ropes that are dangling there. Yeah. Every time someone gets hurled off the platform, you're oh! Everyone's like cheering, and the writhing bodies at the base of it before they die.
This whole town deserves to burn.
I lean over to Sergei. Do you still have more tinder?
I have not enough for whole town.
Oh, that's the beauty of fire. You don't need that much. Just a spark. Just a spark.
You see a large, round woman who's being followed by one of those other creatures. It has like it's hard to even... It looks like some sort of octopus and maybe crocodile mouth with strange eyes. It has sharp claws all over it, slithering and sliding at the base of this thing. It looks like it's devouring some of the bodies that are piled up below it. But the woman slowly sort of walks up to the platform after everyone, and the sacrifices will help us. Will give us power to be able to hold off the Cantel army. Every family that gives forth willingly will be blessed. Our power will be stronger, and you'll survive. Bring forth the sacrifices! And she slowly moves down the platform again, and some other crying woman is brought forward, and they hook into her and in 3 different places and hurl her body off, and there's a jerking, slashing, tearing sound and motion, and then her body is writhing on the ground, bleeding, and half of her has been removed, looks like. And the procession continues. Keep letting people out of the cages.
We can always, if we ever found the Cantel army, we could tell them of secret way into town. That passageway that was where the house was at.
It's hard to say how much resistance they'll be met with anyway, given how quickly the population is decreasing here.
Very true.
Yes, but I believe that the sooner that we do this, the less sacrifices will be met. I would hate to see more children suffer like this.
This is horrible travesty, even for me. I have seen many things, and this is disgusting.
The next sacrifice is a small boy who's crying and struggling and fighting the whole way up. But that large woman has the boy underneath her arm, and this one, for some reason, she's the one that does the hooks and the ropes. She ties up his parts and puts in the hooks, one into his side, another into his calf, holds him above her head, and hurls him down strongly. And, the aftermath isn't pretty.
This is disgusting. These creatures need to die.
Tavis just turns and walks towards the alley that we'd stashed Rayhan in, so that he can slump against the wall. I don't really need to see this.
You think that everything that creature eats, it seems to get a little bit stronger, a little bit larger.
Perhaps all those children that we have led over to Fountain, perhaps we could lead them out of this town somehow, so that they are not next victims.
Indeed.
If we can fashion a way.
Oh, but we can. We have a tunnel, you see.
That leads to a burned-down house.
Well, by now it
This
may be
problem.
out.
True.
A few burnt feet is a small price to pay to this.
Well, I see no other choice.
On the tops of the walls, you start to see ghostly apparitions that are forming. Now, there's guards every 50 yards. You'll see some of these ghostly, shimmering appearances probably every 10 feet along the wall.
Do they seem put off by them, or do they just not notice?
The guards seem pretty freaked out.
Oh, okay.
They're hiding in their little huts that are on top of the wall. You'll see them looking left and right. But these apparitions seem like they're slowly just forming, and then you'll see them sort of shimmer to the left and to the right, wherever they are on the wall.
Are they remaining, or are they disappearing?
They seem like once they appear, they stay there.
All these sacrifices, they must be conjuring up spirits of the dead. That must be how they plan on protecting town.
Well, let's see how many we can prevent from being added to their number.
At least the children, at least, we could save.
So, are you guys headed towards the fountain?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you make your way. Yeah, you make your way. It's actually not too far away from you now. You'll see the fountain, and there looks like there's about 40 children that are standing around it, and they're singing songs about foxes getting their legs cut off.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful children.
Die, die, foxes. Foxes have no legs. Die, die, foxes. Oh, oh, oh. Foxes have no legs. And it just seems like it's the same thing over and over again. I don't know. That's strange.
I go up to them. Hello, children. How are you doing? I'm so glad to see you all here.
And you'll see that little boy. He'll run forward. I taught him the song. I made it up myself.
Oh, that is wonderful. Now, what I need all of you to do is to hold hands and to follow us.
Oh.
We're going to take you to see the floating god.
The floating... Oh, is that his name? I thought he was sleeping. He's not going to be mad that I hit him in the face a bunch of times, is he?
No. He appreciates your zeal.
Because it got all puffy.
That's fine. Just hold hands, everyone, and follow us.
Okay, guys, remember. Foxes, foxes, foxes have no legs. And they all sort of gather their hands together, holding each other, and then they start, they all lined up.
We'll lead them back to where that tunnel was.
Okay. You'll see some of the guards looking at you kind of strange. But they look at Tavis. Do you see anything when you pass by, Tavis? Foxes, foxes, foxes have no legs. Foxes, foxes.
I think he's just going to nod towards them, and then stare firmly ahead.
Okay, pretend like you own the place, sort of.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. They don't stop you. They look at the kids strangely, but well, whatever, not their problem. And you guys enter the building. This time, let's roll dice. Rayhan isn't floating anymore. He's laying firmly on the ground.
Oh, this is wonderful. That means he has told us that there is a secret in this room.
Ah, and it must be close to the ground.
There's
Yes,
a secret. Oh. Is it like a puzzle or what?
It might be a puzzle. I just pretend like I'm searching where the trapdoor was, and then I just pull up the rug. Oh, look what the floating god has shown us. There is a trapdoor here.
Oh, wow. That's not like my uncle's trapdoor, right?
I do not know. What is your uncle's trapdoor like?
When you get bad, you go down in the floor?
No.
Okay.
Perhaps he wants us to see what is down here.
Oh.
It seems his will.
I open the trapdoor up.
I saw him floating, seriously. He's like a god or something, guys. Come on, let's just keep singing. Foxes have no legs.
Is there smoke coming up out of the tunnel?
There's not.
Okay.
Go down into the burning tunnel, children. There's no burning, and they start crawling down the ladder.
What was that, Luther?
Actually, no. If the kids are already going down the tunnel, he has nothing to say. He's just going to be. He's going to have a very serious look on his face.
Okay.
What is problem, Luther?
The problem is this entire town.
Yes. All I can think of to do is save these children. That is, I do not know what else to do.
I'm tired of singing this stupid song. Can't we sing one of the other songs? No, this is my song. God said I had to make a song, and you had to sing it, or else.
Well, that's
All
okay.
right.
You can share. They can sing. It is okay to sing different songs. Why don't you all make up song?
Oh. Well, it's my turn, because I'm not singing that stupid box leg song.
Make up song about floating god. He will love that.
Floating god. Floating god, he floats above us. He's like a cloud. He drinks and pees on us. That's not so good, right? Maybe he shouldn't pee on us.
Well, you all talk together and cooperate.
While
they're doing that, I go. While they're doing that, I go over and pick up Rayhan and sling him over my shoulder.
Okay.
And go down in the tunnel with them.
They're singing songs about the floating god being a duck in the air. Floating god being the duck on the pond or something. They seem like they're trying to make it up as they go. The floating god, he's like a log. He floats and floats and flies off the water. Now, that's kind of dumb. I told you, we should be singing that fox song. Foxes have no legs. Everybody knows that.
Well, just keep making up song about floating god. He will be happy when you have it done.
When he farts, it's breezy. Lots of wind. Floating god, he's like a farting duck.
Davis, yeah, I think he's very pleased with that rendition of Rayhan. But
He farts, flies, and flies above, and it stinks really badly. And then he lands on the water, and he turns it yellow. That doesn't rhyme. I'm not good at rhyming.
Well, when we get to the end, do it have any smell of smoke or anything?
There is when you start getting towards the end of the tunnel after about 25 minutes, there is a smell of smoke. It looks like there's a little bit of smoke at the top of the tunnel.
Okay, is it overwhelming? Or?
No, it's just It's just like a smell in the air. It's not like you're walking through, choking smoke or anything like that.
Okay, well, I climb up the ladder when we get to the end and try to lift up that trapdoor.
Well, if you keep going, you'll see that the trapdoor isn't there. It's burned through, and there's just a pile of smoldering timbers and logs that are sort of draped over the top there.
Okay.
Piled up, I guess.
There's no way of moving them aside?
There might be. You might burn your hands a little bit doing it, but...
Okay. Well, I could... What do you suggest we do here?
Oh, can't the floating god fart and make all the logs go away?
No, he's not farting god. He's floating god.
Well, how's he float if he doesn't fart?
He's magic.
Well, I would think that his floating might have something to do with holding it all in.
Oh, no, do not encourage them. Well, I'll take my sword out and try to jab at it, see if I can move some of it away.
Well, if you guys work at it, you think that you can make a path to crawl through. It just takes some time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look up in there and see, is it still on fire?
It looks like it's burned down. This is just the sort of the charred timbers and things that are left.
Okay. Well, I'll try to lead the children up through there.
Should we keep singing? So he doesn't fart, huh? And if he doesn't fart, he floats. So, why isn't he floating now? Did he fart too much? I'm confused.
Yes, that is the reason why.
Oh, okay. Why does he have garbage all over him?
He was hiding.
Why does a guard have to hide under garbage?
Because he wanted to find the children like you.
Oh.
He wouldn't have found you otherwise.
Okay, so just crawl through here, huh? Okay. It smells bad. Okay, this way, guys. And, yeah, eventually you guys get all the children out. And, the people that were still there aren't there any longer. Unless they're inside the barn. But, you don't see anybody.
And now we have a horde of children to look after. It's going so well.
I'm hungry. I'm tired. That was a long walk. Do you have any food?
We can go collect berries in the woods.
And you know what else is in woods? Foxes.
Oh, yeah, no leg foxes.
Mm-hmm.
They just
See if
crawl
we can
around and
find
bark.
them.
They're like dogs
All right,
without legs, right?
While he sends them off to collect berries, I go up over to Tavis and Luther and say, I have no idea what to do with these children. I just did not want to leave them there.
I didn't think you did. Tavis has been carrying Sergei's longbow and his crossbow over his shoulders, so I guess he'll hand the longbow back.
Okay.
Just rather than forgetting it in there.
These trees are weird. Why's the bark moving?
Oh, no.
Luther will shout out at them, get away from those trees! Now! Get back!
Come back over here. Come back over here, children. Away from trees.
Yeah, you'll see a few trees. It does look like the bark is, like, slithering and undulating.
Come back over here, children, now.
Oh, it's weird. I touched it. It felt warm.
Come back over. Take care of sleeping god, floating god. He needs to hear song from you.
Floating god, he's not a duck. He's like a cloud that doesn't fart.
Come gather around him and sing song.
He's like a god that doesn't fart. He's like a cloud in the sky. He floats and fluffy and he's got no eyes.
Oh. Are they coming back over?
Yeah, it seems like 38 of the children have come back.
How many were there?
Well, that's a pretty good sum.
There were 40 to start. So.
Oh, okay.
I think that's fine. Well, no, I don't, but...
I think Luther's
70
gonna
out of
run
40.
back
That's a
in the
good percentage.
woods.
Right? Sorry, what was that, Phil?
Luther's going to run in the woods to try to find the other two.
Okay.
Yeah, Sergei will follow with him.
You'll go into the woods, and those trees with the undulating bark, there's 2 large lumps in the side of the tree.
Oh.
I start running over towards that tree, and I start trying to pry it open.
You'll hear muffled, "The floating god, the floating god."
Yeah, I'll take the sword and try jabbing it.
It
not
looks like
not on the lump, but near the lump.
the tree is bleeding now. How'd that happen? So if you cut above or below it, it looks like there's a bunch of fibers, and that's what is made the tree. Like that's what the bark is made out of. It seemed to go from the roots to the tops of the trees. Very strange looking trees. I've never seen them dark. They have like purple leaves, silver on the tops of the leaves. But you can pry apart the wiry bark. And you can get the kids out, but they look like they have like lots of almost like razor wire scratches on their skin.
Did the kids that came back manage to come back with any berries?
Oh yeah, they brought a bunch of berries with them.
Okay. Tavis is going to teach them how to decorate the floating god while the others are dealing with the lost 2.
The kids that come out, they're still alive, but they look like they lost a lot of blood.
Well, I just carry them back to the rest of the kids.
What? The tree tried to eat me? That wasn't fun. I was praying to the floating god. He didn't do anything, though.
Well, you did not pray in the right way. Let's just go back to see the rest of the children, yes?
Luther's going to stay and examine the tree a little further.
Yeah, it looks like these sort of tendrils sort of lash out and grab things and pull it into itself. And then they just sort of tumble and spin and cover whatever they took up. You'll see it eat one of the squirrels. It jumps into its leaves.
Oh.
You'll see a squirrel-sized the side of the trunk of the bark.
I'll head back, and as soon as I see the other two, I'll say, "Remind me to get an axe."
Actually, there is one in the leathers in Tavis's backpack, isn't there?
There is, actually.
He'll hand that off.
Thank you kindly, sir. I shall be back.
Does anybody go with Luther? Or do you guys just
I'll go with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with.
So the trees try to attack you, but you, being men of prowess and strength, renowned champions of good and light, as Luther would put it, eventually hack down the 3 trees in the woods that try to eat the kids. The end.
Yeah.
About time to wrap things up. So,
Okay.
Wes did not take a nap today. He's just, man, I don't know what. I wish I could store some of his energy.
He seemed alright, though.
He's a pretty quiet guy.
He didn't scream too much. He was playing that. He has this little toolbox, all these little like tools with eyes on them and stuff. And he's playing this little tune when you push on the side of the toolbox. And I was trying to turn it off so I could talk to you guys, and just turn it back on and hit the button again. Oh man. Oh. All right. I felt a little bit off this session. I hope it wasn't too bad for you guys.
Well, I think we may have taken it in some strange directions.
But you managed to create a cult to the floating god with 40 worshipping kids.
Yes. So if Rayon never comes back, he'll just be the floating god forever.
He has become a new deity.
Yes.
And they can build their village in the ruins around him.
Your children live in this farmhouse.
It worked in Lord of the Flies.
Wow. So it'll just be a randomly floating Rayhan's body in the farm,
Yeah.
and the kids will.
He finally starves to death, but he's still floating there.
The floating undead god. That sounds pretty cool, actually.
We can probably teach them to feed him berries.
No, not that end, kids. This end.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what to do with the kids once we got them there.
It just seemed important to.
Yeah,
Let's get
Sergio
kids, and now what the hell do we do with them? Are we
Well,
a care
I'm-
service? You know?
Well, once he's...
Sorry?
I had this little moment with when our character saw the sacrifices and stuff. I was thinking maybe Luther was just gonna go kill Bill on them and like go walk up on the stage and attack the witch, because the original thought, that's why I was so quiet throughout the rest of that, because I was really thinking hard about what was I gonna do, and I was honestly thinking about him like taking one of the blades and then like offering himself up as a sacrifice, and like when he gets up on the stage and stuff, he was just gonna stab her right in the throat as many times as possible.
Wow, that would have been pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
You should have totally done that.
I know. I was like, this is a nice suicide moment. Let's do it.
I don't know if Tavis and Sergey would have helped you, but
No, I had no intention of putting anyone else in danger. It was,
Yeah, we know you want to go out in a noble way when you do. So, seems a just enough cause.
well, guys, I think I'm up for playing next week if you guys are.
Sure. Sounds good.
Hopefully the Cantel army isn't cruel and vicious. We can leave them with kids.
I'm wondering whether we can take the kids to whatever this structure is across the lake.
The mound?
The mound?
Yeah, there's a
Was it-
mound of standing stones and a mound of dirt and grass and brush in the center of it.
That might not be too helpful.
there's probably children eating stones and stuff.
Likely,
This
or they
is the temple of the floating god.
have a tendency to tip over.
So they're just gonna pile Ray on the top of it and walk around the standing stones, singing songs about how he farts and floats in the sky.
Yeah.
He's not a duck. The other god said so. All right, that was pretty silly. Any final thoughts about today, or what do you guys think?
That was gold. That's
Well, we committed arson. We murdered
No.
some sleeping people. But we did kill that thing on stilts.
That's right.
And we watched the blinded monk worshipper of the bugs get shot full of arrows.
That's like the one rule I've always learned in any role-playing game, is that if you can't kill it by any means, just let the fire take care of it. Just burn the place down and walk away. Like in any action movie. That's the way I pictured us. We're all walking away limping, but the barn's exploding in the background. And we just pull out sunglasses and put them on, and like they just play some 80s music, and we ride off into the sunset.
There we go.
With 40 kids.
40
Yep.
kids dragging behind the horses. Okay.
Let's blow this joint.
Yes. We got the kids. Let's blow this joint.
Looks like they should have took up smoking.
Something, dude.
Oh, man. All right. I got to clean up the mess that Wesley made during this whole fiasco. He found some cookies at one point all over the floor and table. So they kept him quiet. That was the dinging sound. He was banging his plate on the bowl that they were in. Oh, well. All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
All right,
sounds
good game, guys.
All right, thanks.
all right.
Yeah,
Bye.
job well done.